Yo, what's up guys? Got PokeaimMD here with another competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon moveset analysis video guide on how to use Togedemaru. Now, Togedemaru is a really interesting little Pokemon. It doesn't have any outright strong giant stats that you see. Like, it has base 98 attack and base 96 speed. Outside of that, its HP, defense, and SPDEF is very, very lackluster. Being electric and steel though, really cool. Only weak to 3 types, ground, fire, and fighting. While it does pack an immunity to poison, it resists normal, it resists psychic, it resists fairy. With lightning rod, it's actually immune to electric as well, which also boosts its special attack, unfortunately, which is base 40. I wish lightning rod this generation actually boosts your attack and special attack, which would make it an even more viable ability. But it does have 3 very solid abilities: iron barbs, lightning rod, and sturdy. Though it can only really make use of 1 or 2 of them. I would say lightning rod and iron barbs. Maybe you could use sturdy on a particular set that I'll talk about in the other options. But outside of that, it doesn't get any steel stab to work with. The only steel move that it does get is gyro ball, and maybe if you want to use like the steel Z move, which would be its strongest steel move. Outside of that, it doesn't really have too much to work with, but it can definitely be an annoying little Pokemon, especially with the lightning rod and the fact that that gives it an immunity to electric type attack, since all it does is boost its special attack and makes it immune. And also being resistant to fairy makes it a Pokemon that can actually take on some very, very threatening Pokemon in the tier. I'm talking about Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko cannot touch this thing with the Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam is not very effective. We're actually going to be running an Assault Vest set, max special defense as its first set, and basically this is I think it's one of its best support options. The set runs Nuzzle, Fake Out, Zing Zap, and U-Turn. My boy Mutant Polar Bear actually made a team with this that I've been using, and Assault Vest was actually also the first set that I thought about with Togedemaru as well, so I was very happy that we had a very, very similar set. I do want to make something clear. I don't always just show my sets on this. I think the idea of a moveset video is to show you the best options of a Pokemon, whether I made them or collected them from other people, or just put them all together. I think that's the important part, because this is knowledge and I want to share it. So I think that's important. Nobody owns a Togedemaru set, okay? But if you want me to call it a Mutant Polar Bear set, sure. Not that he would say anything, but this is basically Assault Vest, and the idea of this set is to check Pokemon such as Tapu Koko, who can't Thunderbolt you, who can't Volt Switch on you, and whose Dazzling Gleam does not do anything, and just be a little bit annoying. With Fake Out, U-Turn support, Nuzzle, obviously always going to para your opponent unless they're a ground type. It's a 20%, it's a 20 base power move, but it does have a 100% chance to paralyze your opponent. And its Fake Out obviously gives you that priority, also flinches your opponent, gets off a little bit of chip damage. Zing Zap is a move that only Togedemaru gets at the top of my head. Well, obviously, like, Smeargle can sketch it and whatnot, but it's a 30%, I believe Smeargle could sketch it. I know there's some moves that Smeargle can't use, though it can sketch them all, I'm pretty sure. Like, I know it could sketch Dark Void, but it can't use Dark Void in this generation since only Darkrai can. Maybe I'm wrong off the top of my head, but Zing Zap is a move that Togedemaru gets that has a 30% chance to flinch the opponent. So again, just goes along with the whole support option. And then U-Turn gives you momentum, gets on out of there. Basically, the idea of this set is annoy your opponent. Stop them with Fake Out, U-Turn out of there, Nuzzle to paralyze them, and walk around. I would pair this set with Toxic Spike support, just because Toxic Spikes plus Fake Out really adds up, especially when you can flinch them with Zing Zap and then U-Turn on out of there. Obviously, Toxic Spikes isn't always the best option, since Nuzzle is also there, like I said, to paralyze your opponent, but you can pair it with T-Spikes, and basically Hazards, and Hazards plus Fake Out really does rack up, especially with U-Turn support. Next up we have what I like to call the little annoying thing, which is just a leftovers option with Lightning Rod, with Fake Out, Zing Zap, Spiky Shield, and U-Turn. Again, the idea of this set with max speed and max attack is just to wear down your opponent with Fake Out, have the Spiky Shield just in case they are a physical attacker, they touch you, they take damage. It also protects you from, it's Protect basically, and contact moves, they lose 1/8 of their max HP. So Fake Out plus Spiky Shield, you're already doing damage to them. Zing Zap, your max speed 320 with 295 attack, so it's not bad attack at all. So Zing Zap actually does damage, and you actually outspeed things as well, so you can get on out of there with the U-Turn as well as the Zing Zap. And Zigzag just has the chance to flinch your opponent, and having max attack investment allows you to actually do more to Pokemon such as Skarmory to Celesteela. You're not going to be doing too much even with max attack investment, but damage does add up, and obviously you can get them out of there with U-turn and chip away at your opponent. So again, to reiterate, the idea of this set is to just rack up chip damage on your opponent. However, this one's faster and does have access to Spiky Shield. So the full-on support set, again, it can be a fast set with Jolly. It runs Fake Out, Encore, Nuzzle, and U-turn. You run max speed and max HP. Max speed just to, or near max HP anyway, you can run to 48 HP. But the idea of this set, again, is to take advantage of the fact that Togedemaru does have some cool support options. Fake Out, Encore, Nuzzle, and U-turn are all great and solid support options, especially on a fast Pokemon like this. So Fake Out your opponent, stop them from moving. Encore them, lock them into, let's say if they went for Stealth Rock or something like that, you can lock them into that so they can't do anything. Nuzzle something on the para, or nuzzle something on the switch and get the paralysis on that, and then U-turn out of there. So again, the idea of this Pokemon, it's not really to do damage, but to just support the team. Stop something from setting up. With Fake Out, or lock it into Calm Mind with Encore. If you're faster like a Calm Mind Tapu Fini, you can lock it into that. If the Mystic Terrain is gone, you can paralyze it with Nuzzle, and then you can U-turn it out of there and let something else come in and take a threat. So I think Togedemaru is a very solid support Pokemon, and I'm excited to see how it works at 4 p.m. Eastern. I hope you guys are too when it comes out. But next up, we have a little bit other support options. Rocky Helmet is definitely an option on the support sets, just to get off chip damage, especially if you're running that with Spiky Shield. You can also run Sturdy as well with like Reversal. Fellstinger is something that it does get, so maybe on like an offensive option, like a choice option, you want to run Fellstinger, or even like a Life Orb offensive option, or X-Bib or whatnot. You can also run like Grass Knot with Extra's Belt. If you actually get hit with Lightning Rod Boost, it might actually do damage to Pokemon like a Powdon, bulky Pokemon like that. Poison Jab also allows you to touch fairies, because outside of that, you have, well, I mean, you have Wish as well. Wish Protect is also another option, as well as Wild Charge. But I like Zingzap just because Zingzap gives you the 30% chance to flinch. But Wish is also another option. And outside of that, your only like Steel offensive option is like Hidden Power Steel and Gyro Ball. But you can use Gyro Ball with like the Z move. And like Sturdy with like Reversal is also definitely an option. But outside of that, I don't really think Togedemaru has too many options in singles. However, I did ask my boy Wolfe, the champion, to the VGC champ, to actually come on and give some advice on Togedemaru in VGC. So I'll see you guys at the end of his little talk. So be right back, guys.
Thanks so much, Joey. Yeah, guys, my name is Wolfe. I'm the 2016 Pokemon World Champion, and I'm here right now to walk you guys through using Togedemaru in VGC. So if you don't know like what VGC is, or you're like really confused, or you just want me to be gone, basically the rundown is VGC is the way in which you can play Pokemon and win like thousands of dollars and travel all over the world and meet like a lot of really cool people. I actually started with the singles background. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but when the switch from Generation 4 to Generation 5 happened, I was a singles player, and I found out about VGC just like through Smogon, and I just kind of like went from there. So basically, if you haven't like gotten into VGC before, this is a really good time to do it, because it's a new format. Like, I think having a singles background gives you a really big edge when you're first starting. So I'd recommend checking it out. But enough of that. Basically, you want to know how to use Togedemaru in VGC. Basically, Togedemaru is really interesting because it has like some very unique characteristics, and its typing of Electric and Steel make it really good, because Pokemon that are very popular right now are the Tapu Pokemon, and Steel is very good versus that, and there's not a ton of like good Steel type Pokemon running around. So basically, Togedemaru is really cool because it gets Spiky Shield, which basically is like Protect, only better. I've mentioned before that Protect is really useful in VGC. Spiky Shield is like Protect, but if they make contact with your shield, then they take physical damage, or they take like an eighth of their health. I believe it's an eighth. Yeah, an eighth of their health. Togedemaru also gets Nuzzle, which is really important. I had Nuzzle on my Worlds team. It's like a phenomenal move. It causes paralysis, which is one of the best status conditions in the game. Fake Out is there for double battling. Fake Out is really useful. It's less useful this season, just because Tapu Lele is like super popular right now, and its ability stops priority attacks. But if you pair Tapu or Togedemaru with Tapu Koko or different Tapu Pokemon, then you can Fake Out pretty freely. You can always Fake Out flying types as well, or levitating Pokemon, because they're not blocked by terrain. And lastly, Zingzap. basically with between Nuzzle, which has a fully 100% chance to paralyze and 25% chance to be fully paralyzed, paired with a 30% chance to flinch, and like not an insignificant move, like base power, you'll do a lot of damage. So that calc is basically I'm not gonna run you guys through all my EVs because I'm sure you don't really care. If you wanna, I've done all of this is from a video on my channel, but just so you know, what I calc this for is to make Psychic never 4-hit KO, or never 3-hit KO, or like almost never. I always calc for low percent odds. This is modest max special attack, so you can see it's not doing a ton. This set is similar, except it gets Poison Jab instead of Protect, and in exchange you get an Assault Vest. Same calc here. I think I tried to make Tapu Lele a 3-hit KO this time instead of a 4-hit KO. It might be a 4-hit KO. Double check that. You can run the calc, but I'm pretty sure it's calc for Tapu Lele, and then the offensive EVs do that. Poison Jab is a really good coverage move because it hits Pokemon like Tapu Bulu who are expecting to survive Togedemaru and not be threatened by it, and it also hits Tapu Lele harder, and Tapu Koko as well. Tapu Koko is a big one as well because you can't hit Tapu Koko with Zing Zap for neutral, even though it is boosted. And lastly, I just had this fun set as a last set, because in VGC, because it's double battling, you can do some funny stuff with your abilities and your just like synergy and stuff. So basically, this set is intended to be paired with a Discharge, Tapu Koko, and it's basically the idea is just to boost the special attack stat with Discharge using Lightning Rod, because Lightning Rod not only does it draw electric type attacks in, it also gives a boost. So yeah, that's the idea there. And so Tapu Koko is definitely good. I like to cover partners in my videos. I'll just really quickly give you guys some suggestions. Tapu Koko is a good partner for this Discharge set, for this Discharge with this Lightning Rod set. It also pairs well with the other sets because it boosts Zing Zap, and Nuzzle doesn't really benefit from being boosted because it's so weak. But Tapu Koko benefits from Fake Out. It benefits from it benefits a bit from Nuzzle, but not a ton. But yeah, overall, I think Tapu Koko is a solid partner. I actually really like Pelipper. They have like really good synergy with their defensive synergy, their offensive synergy. Pelipper is able to set Tailwind, so you get 2 forms of speed control. It also is protected from electric type attacks by Lightning Rod, so it's a really great partner. And lastly, we have Tapu Bulu here, who is he weakens, even though he shares a fire type weakness with Togedemaru, he weakens Earthquake's power, so that Togedemaru really benefits a lot from that, especially if you pair it with an Intimidate Pokemon. Yeah, so also Tapu Bulu also benefits a lot from Nuzzle. So this set and the Tapu Koko set were recommended in other videos of mine. If you want to know more about what the specific EVs do, you can check it out on my channel. But I'd like to thank Joey for having me here. This is really cool. I love discussing Pokemon. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
Alright, well, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Definitely be sure to check out my buddy Wolfe. His link is down below. He's doing guides on all the Pokemon, the VGC side of things, so I definitely think it's worth your subscription. And yeah, thank you buddy for coming on, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.